Hats off to the PM.
Yeah, man.
You can hear the emotion in Graham's voice, you know.
Remember this man probably were like
Politics, you know, you cut off. But again, let me put Graham's speech in a context. Was the question? Let's start by asking: was Graham personally invited by the Prime Minister? I don't think so. Secondly, Graham is a native of St. Thomas, and he's one of the famous persons who have come from that parish, especially when you look at the entertainment side. Yeah. So I guess he, as a St. Thomas native, would have found it, as he said, obviously when this development would have come on, it would have been what caused him to be checking out the Prime Minister page to see what next. And when in so doing, seeing what the Prime Minister is doing in St. Thomas and Jamaica, he followed what the Prime Minister is doing, and that would have evoked his conscience to really come and, as a citizen representing, as a notable citizen representing St. Thomas, would be asked to make a comment at such a function. And what comment he made, nobody knows that he will be coming to speak definitely to the Prime Minister and telling the Prime Minister, boss, me never have you as a fan at one point, but I have become a fan.
Exactly. Because what I think we now look at the amount of people we are change over to this government. We really need to support the government. And me believe that the party, somebody said it and may I repeat it, that this administration, this government going into a general election much stronger than 2016 and stronger than 2020.
Well, politics. No other political party going into election would have gone into election on the back of tangible achievement than this government. No other party.
But guess what? That's the reason why the PNP are forcing them to call the election, because they know that.
Not again.
Yeah, but they know that they can only get stronger. You understand? They are only getting stronger, and that's what they don't want.
Richter, if you ask me, I think ever since there was this call to say call the election, all of that was a big bluff. They are hoping that the Prime Minister delay calling this election and hoping that something just come out of the hat where they can use against the government, or them can get things fixed up over for them side. Them really and truly know an election card.
Yeah, because when the leader...
You have a valid point.
You're rough when the leader can't draw a crowd, you know, brother. When the leader can't draw a crowd.
You see it on the ground, the blue that pole came out in Westmoreland. And because I am from Westmoreland Eastern, you know. A blue that pole come out and they are way behind. You understand? And it is not just the pole that says that you can see it on the ground. You can see it on the ground. There is nowhere in Westmoreland that Mark Golden put a foot where he have a crowd behind him.
In my community, in my division,
big up yourself.
One would have labeled the constituency by extension a PNP constituency, because it would have been it was at the PNP for 31 years before 2020. And the meeting that Peter Bunting was when he attacked the Prime Minister for attending the same board for that funeral. That meeting was kept in my division, and I was shocked to know that PNP had a meeting in a full division and me not hear about it as a political man from the ground. No, to be honest, that meeting was kept in my community.
Good morning, guys. I believe it because some of them meet now when it gone, me I see it.
On social media, you see by everywhere. They did it so it was, and this is unlike what we used to from the PNP. Remember, you know, the PNP used to have the bragging rights back in the days to say they are the most, when they come on to mobilization and organizational skills. That's what they used to use and overcome the Jamaica Labour Party in many of the elections and the PJ party. All of that mistake.
People are really moving. You know what I love? You know what I love? Yeah.
Big up Chavi. Big up Chavi. You on Friday for real. This is it. Everybody I look to see how we party more go give you a house, you know. Can you imagine?
You know what I love? Chuck, me I watch a guy, St. Thomas event live. And one of the things I love here, when me hear people are comment and I say, I never vote before or me a PMP, but me I get ANDREW HOLNESS and vote at this. Them me love. And me see a lot of that yesterday.
Yes, man. I hear enough of them.
I've read a comment on TikTok. This lady, she's overseas. She's 61 years old. Right? But her name is here on the voters list. She said, after it commented under the Grams bargain thing, the lady said she's 61 years old and she will be coming to Jamaica to vote. And she was born and raised in a PNP family, PNP background, but she refused to say the name. It seems that if it's a well-known PNP family she grew up in, you know, but she's not saying, but she said she will be coming home to vote for ANDREW HOLNESS.
Yes, man. Because
away from that broadcast the politics, may I watch him. The same guy, St. Thomas.
yeah.
I watched him the night before and must have been a discussion with that guy. And what they were saying is that people in St. Thomas are complaining. People from outside are going to come take for the jobs they are creating. So the man said, no, you don't know a long time that this are come here, so you can prepare yourself to work long time.
Exactly.
So if you never prepare or no come now and make the thing I go pass or no buy, you no can blame nobody.
But on yourself. That is right. That is right, sir.
You know, say, me no believe, say, here my thing is, up until today, Mark cannot acknowledge that him dividing the PMP, we call it franchising the PMP, was not a really sensible political move. Because first of all, if you divide it, you're going to divide the base. The PMP has never
Come on, you want to
worked
come
without the
and tell
base.
about how you feel.
Yes,
I
man.
want to hear from some St. Thomas people today.
Yeah, man. But I love to hear them, man. To hear
You
them.
know?
Man.
And because of that, what is happening now is a continuation of all of those ideas. You know? But you one of the core things when me observe about the PMP. I never see it in the history of no political party. Because if you work on one democracy, right, you're supposed to work on a democracy from the base and the core. Now, all of the people that mark around him don't have a seat, you know. The core leadership of the PMP don't have a seat, you know. And the one person who would have again like a hope of even, you know, people even clinging to the party, attracting people to the party. You run them out of the party. How is it that you wear wisdom and the people who advise you? And you know what that mean to me? You know what that said to me? You see, all along this idea about them did organize and them have organization on the ground and all of that. That was a lie. If you notice the voting pattern now, even in original, in what them call PMP constituency, dominant constituency, the voting pattern has changed drastically in some instances.
So that's why I tell people said Julian can be in a trouble. Anyhow, they put on the pressure upon him because when Maxine Henry did it, Maxine Henry Wilson, where Fatuman did.
That was when I think when you win the seat, when I can't recall the win that seat.
No man, remember Maxine, I don't know if Maxine Henry or whatever. I know
Two of them, Maxine Henry Wilson. Two of them was her name. Henry Wilson was her name.
Alright, from there, so that seat start to, as Enriquez did run then and in our 2007 and him pull out a big vote. A lot of people surprised. the vote, I think Maxine win by about 1,000 votes, and you know, so that normally a strong
Support that.
and from that, it keep on coming down. Remember, say JLP did put a poor candidate, because them they put Derek Simit. We know Derek Simit ain't really so hot. And Derek Simit still did get enough vote. The last local general election, we see cut down same way. So with the good candidate, now where did we ever get help? No surprise.
I will go there. I will go over there.
Where you guy name, man? Him did it now, man. Him did it now. I don't know. Because we are carry 1 year accounts to meeting up, but we never done before.
Come on, Fowl is in the box. Come on, Fowl. Tell me how you feel.
But the morning, gentle peeps.
Yes.
How I feel about St. Thomas.
This is that. Yeah.
It's a good look, man. Like, as how me grew up going on St. Thomas back at time still. But as a PMP still, I'm not gonna lie you, because I grew up, my mother and father live right, and me just straight say me I go turn PMP.
Really?
Man. Yes, man. All of my family from the east are all green.
But
Every
so my first year that we are in, always the other way around.
everybody are green. And me just say, yo, me make the
Yeah.
But
That's
right now, me no see PMP for win back the election. Me no see it. Because they can't get back St. Thomas again.
So you're a resident of St. Thomas?
Born and raised.
Alright. When me want you to tell, we put into perspective. St. Thomas prior to, I think it's what, 2016, when we had the reign of Fenton Ferguson. Yeah? 4 stars. Yeah. What is it that Fenton was doing that you could say would have be re-electing him elections after election? What was it?
On the honest road, on the honesty. Fenton did that only work with film friend them and buy vote from others. He neither do nothing at all. Because budget 90% of we up here, all you know is when election time, Fenton go come around and give man 120 grand and 130 grand. We not nothing. We just vote because of that.